Greetings my fellow Hyper-Mech Legionnaires. Get ready for an electrifying journey as we dive into an extraordinary and comprehensive review of the Daban Model High-Grade 1/144th Full Armor Unicorn Gundam Destroy Mode. Now this is a Beyond the Box review. And by Beyond the Box, we mean once you've assembled the kit and stepped into a whole new realm of details and possibilities, unveiling what was inside this very box and tuning up your modeling skills to a new level. Of course, due to its Daban model bootleg nature, the plastics and details of the contents might be somewhat subpar compared to the usual Bandai quality. And since it's a bootleg, building this kit requires an extra dose of effort, practically setting your building skills on fire and electrifying them just to get it assembled. It's like hard mode of model kit assembly, but we are way past those challenges as we shift our focus to exploring the aesthetics of this kit. Indeed, what we're looking at is the Unicorn Gundam in its awe-inspiring destroy mode, flaunting those captivating green psychoframes that signify its presence in the climactic final episode of the series. But there's a twist. Now, if you haven't noticed, this isn't your typical out-of-the-box build. From the very beginning, the first impression hints at the differences. This is my take on the Beyond the Box version. A modified rendition. I've delved into adding meticulous details such as repainting some colored parts, accentuating the fluorescent green psychoframes, introducing a hint of light gray to offset the pristine white, infusing metallic effects to key areas, applying fundamental panel lining, adorning it with a plethora of decals, some procured online and a few personally printed, and the finishing touch, a layer of flat finish to infuse a touch of realism. Nothing too extravagant, just a straightforward approach to customization and detailing. The only elements I retained from the original box are the eye stickers, chosen for their metallic reflective quality. Despite my modest modifications, the design stays true to the iconic destroy mode, presenting a unique perspective on its build proportions. This portrayal captures the essence of a protagonist mobile suit, embodying its sleekness while featuring variations from the typical red, blue, and yellow theme. While not flawless, the overall construction manages to encapsulate the spirit of the Unicorn Gundam, despite its cost-effective imitation by Daban model. If modifications and intricate detailing aren't your preference, the straight build or out-of-the-box version of this kit still delivers a remarkably decent presentation. The fundamental engineering readily identifies it as the iconic Unicorn Gundam, poised for your display or imaginative play. For a straightforward out-of-the-box build, there are numerous YouTube channels that showcase this model kit, providing you with visual guidance, but a touch of detailing can go a long way. And that's exactly what my Beyond the Box review aims to uncover about this kit. Moving on to articulation. Initial impressions might not be great, but let's explore the kit's movement range. Who knows, we might find some positives in its articulation. Starting with the head, the neck articulation allows for forward and backward movement. It raises up and lowers down, giving you flexibility for expressive poses. It can move side to side, but there's no full rotation. We've got full shoulder rotation. A slight hinge allows forward and backward movement in the shoulders. The shoulder armor can tilt up and down. The arm can be raised up to this point, exceeding which could risk breakage. Full arm rotation is present. Elbow can bend at 90 degrees. The hands are on ball joints, allowing for complete rotation. There's a lever mechanism you can pull to activate the beam tonfa. Full body rotation is available. There's a lever mechanism you can pull on the rear skirt to reveal the thruster. However, be cautious when pulling this, as it may detach this part. The side skirt can be raised and lowered. It also features side-to-side swinging. The front skirt can be lifted, enabling the legs to achieve a wider range of motion. The hips are on ball joints, providing a somewhat limited tilting motion. It's also connected to a swinging pivot lever, offering a subtle swinging motion. Due to the hip ball joints, the legs can only spread out to this extent. And the legs can be raised forward up to this point. Legs have limited backward raise due to backskirt. The knee can bend up to 90 degrees. The foot guard can be somewhat lifted upwards. The foot also allows for forward and backward swinging motion. It also features a slight left and right tilting movement. It's on a ball joint with limited left-right movement, no full rotation. Lastly, the backpack has a slightly odd yet functional up and down tilting motion. And that wraps up our look at this kit's articulation. While it may fall short in delivering extensive movement, the hip's classic ball joint design limits leg motion, and elbows and knees offer only a basic 90-degree bend. The armor's aesthetic might have impacted articulation, perhaps due to compromises. While not a standout in articulation, the kit's true appeal resides elsewhere. Aesthetic customization and your artistic touch can uplift its visual impact. Though articulation might not be this kit's star player, it's ready to steal the spotlight back with an accessory extravaganza that's nothing short of explosive. After all, we're diving into the realm of the full-armor Unicorn Gundam, a mobile arsenal that's practically a one Gundam army. So, hold onto your helmets as we unpack the treasure trove of accessories this kit brings to the table. And no, they didn't skimp on the goodies. It's like they raided the Gundam armory and decided to share the spoils with us. Let the accessory onslaught commence. Starting with the beam saber, they've generously provided two clear effect parts. The plastic quality holds its own, but there's a slight bend at the tip that's giving us that classic Daban model charm. You know, the kind of charming imperfection you've come to know from our friendly neighborhood Daban model. To wield these, simply slide the beam saber handle out from the Unicorn Gundam's backpack. Then, jam those effect parts in like you're ready to take on the universe. Slide it into its waiting hands, and voila! You've just unleashed some seriously cool beam saber action. While beam sabers are a staple for many Gundams in mobile suits, witnessing the Unicorn wield them adds an extra dash of coolness. Even with limited articulation, just the fundamental poses of wielding these weapons evoke a protagonist vibe for the Unicorn Gundam. It captures the essence of aiming to cleave through foes with a straightforward melee strike. As the Unicorn Gundam grips its beam sabers, you can almost feel the intensity of the battle. The crisp white armor contrasts with the vibrant beams, painting a picture of a warrior unyielding in the face of danger. Beyond beam sabers, these effect parts are also compatible with the beam tonfa. Pull the lever on the Unicorn's forearm to reveal the handle. Slide in the effects, and you're good to go. It's a neat addition to the kit. While not as dynamic as the beam sabers, these beam tonfa effects add a strong striking pose, giving the Unicorn Gundam an edge in close combat. Next up is the Unicorn Gundam's iconic weapon, the Beam Magnum. And guess what? It comes with a trigger-fingered hand permanently glued to the handle, making swapping hands a breeze. This beats the risk of accidentally dropping a hand any day. As you can see, I've personalized mine with various shades of gray paint and added panel lines. The sight scope gets a touch of metallic allure with a green sticker. There's also a touch of articulation here. The second handle serves as a lever that you can pull and retract, adding dynamism to your shooting pose. There's also a nifty mechanism at the top of the handle. Pull it, and a peg is revealed, perfect for storing this weapon. Now, go ahead and equip it. As you witness the Unicorn Gundam take hold of its iconic Beam Magnum, you'll notice an extraordinary metamorphosis in its demeanor. The melding of the Beam Magnum with the Unicorn Gundam ushers in a newfound aura of power and determination. No wonder the designers didn't overly emphasize articulation for this kit. Just gripping and aiming this weapon imparts an undeniable air of authority to the Unicorn Gundam. Its presence is augmented, and the Beam Magnum becomes more than a mere accessory. It becomes an extension of the Gundam's very essence. It's a testament to how a single weapon can define a mobile suit's character and purpose. And to think, this is not even the Unicorn Gundam in its full armor configuration yet. Through this connection, the Beam Magnum ceases to be just an accessory. It's a living embodiment of the Unicorn Gundam's resolute spirit. And if gripping and aiming isn't your preference, an alternative is to store the weapon on the forearm, although that's not quite to my liking. Alternatively, you can mount it on the backpack, though I'll admit, it doesn't exactly enhance the aesthetics. And that gripping hand? It's got a somewhat haunting touch, but that's just me. In relation to this, we're also provided with an ammo clip accessory. However, it's more of a distinct accessory design rather than something you can add onto the Beam Magnum. This accessory attaches to the backskirt. It's a spare for the Beam Magnum. However, I'm torn because this covers up my awesome decals. Moving on, we encounter a trio of beam Gatling guns, arranged in two sets and mounted beneath the shield. But hold on, we'll delve into the shields later. Right now, let's focus on these impressive beam Gatling guns. Two of these can be directly equipped onto the forearm, a smart design choice that eliminates the need for manual gripping. The Unicorn can now effortlessly raise and aim its arm, unleashing a torrent of beams upon anything in its path. Now, you might have noticed a difference from its straight-build counterpart, where these Gatling beam guns are molded in a single shade of gray. For my personal touch, I've painted them in varying shades of gray, added metallic silver to the barrel tips, and highlighted the red sight scope. These modifications provide depth to the weaponry, seamlessly blending with the unicorn's white and green theme. Overall, it's a customization that I believe enhances both form and function, transforming the beam Gatling guns from simple accessories into a dynamic extension of the unicorn's might. Now, let's turn our attention to the shields, and let me tell you, it's a case of sheer generosity. Brace yourself, because we've got an impressive haul here. 3 shields in destroy mode and an additional 1 in unicorn mode, tallying up to a grand total of 4 shields. Or you could argue it's 5 if you count this leftover spare, although I personally won't be putting it to use. Most importantly, you've probably spotted the hyperweapon touch on these shields, panel lines, a dash of fluorescent green on the psycho frame, and loads of decals. Can't help it, a mostly white Gundam kit just needs that extra pop to stand out. After all, a Gundam's gotta look its best, even in the heat of battle. As for these shields, they come with a unique twist. They need to be attached to the beam Gatling to be equipped. But when you have a shield and a pair of devastating beam Gatling guns combined into one package, what's there to complain about? It's the Gundam equivalent of a 2-for-1 deal, firepower and defense, all in a single stylish package. But much like the beam Gatling gun, we're familiar with the routine. Attach these shields to the forearm, and the choice is yours. Go defensive or take the offensive. Regardless, these shields add a layer of versatility that can't be ignored. Speaking of versatility, we're also given 3 display bases and shield adapters for dynamic aerial poses. Now, that's some serious cool. To attach this, simply insert the adapter beneath the shield, wedging it between the Gatling beam guns. Plug in the top peg of the base into the adapter, and just like that, your shield is floating. Now, here's another exciting opportunity. We can showcase the shield in its fin funnel mode, portraying a pose where the shields become extensions of the Unicorn Gundam, annihilating anything in their path. If you're familiar with the series, this display mirrors the final episode, where pilot Banagher Lynx showcases his mastery of the Unicorn Gundam by unveiling this ability. And of course, having it available in the model kit version adds a layer of authenticity that fans will truly appreciate. It's a perfect example of how this kit pays homage to the source material. Adding to the shield's bag of tricks, we have one more posing gimmick. It involves the use of this 3-pronged propeller accessory. Simply insert the propeller pegs into the shield adapter, stacking them on top of each other. Next, connect the side pegs of the shield base stand, and ta-da! We've created a rotating formation of unicorn shields. Remember that scene in Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, where Banagher Lynx uses the shields to create a defensive barrier? It's the iconic eye field in action. And guess what? With the 3-pronged accessory, we've recreated that scene. Yet another homage this kit offers from the show. It's like having a piece of the series right on your display shelf. And if striking shield poses isn't your thing and you'd rather just store them, that's a different story. And that's where the normal unicorn mode shields come into play. Just attach the normal unicorn mode shield to the beam Gatling gun, as it's designed to be stored this way. You'll also need to use this backpack extender accessory to store the shield. Just attach the center piece of the backpack extender between the Gatling beam guns, and it will securely hold the shield in place. And then, attach the backpack extender to the backpack. It might take a couple of tries to get it right, but once you do, the third shield will be securely stored. With the backpack extender installed and the third shield stored, we find ourselves firmly in the midst of the full armor phase of the Unicorn Gundam. And as if all the firepower we've amassed so far wasn't enough, we've got even more in the form of a pair of hyper bazookas. Talk about bringing the big guns. The details are exquisite, and, as usual, I've added my own personal touch to them. The accompanying missile pods and grenade launchers? Well, they're simply an overkill of awesomeness. The missile pod also offers some articulation, allowing for a full rotation. And the grenade launcher also offers rotation, providing you with a versatile aiming angle that ensures you're prepared for any explosive encounter. Speaking of explosive encounters, it's quite a challenge to fit these weapons onto the Unicorn Gundam's regular holding hands. However, if you manage to succeed, you'll unlock another devastating posing opportunity, wielding 2 hyper bazookas in both hands, instilling fear and terror in anyone who opposes this mobile suit. Overall, These weapons showcase the remarkable ingenuity of the accessories and the kit itself, allowing you to explore a diverse array of dynamic poses and scenarios. It's a testament to the thought and craftsmanship put into enhancing your modeling and display experience. And when it comes to these bazookas, you're not just firing shots, you're launching explosive badassness. And if you simply prefer to showcase these badass weapons as pure aesthetics, you can neatly store them on the sides of the backpack extender. However, do note that this will add extra height to the kit, which you should consider when deciding where to display it. Whether you store these weapons or wield them, the Hyper Bazookas are an integral part of the Unicorn Gundam's arsenal. Moving on to the final accessory in this kit, we have two massive boosters. These are a blend of propellant tanks and thruster units, but of course, I've added my personal touch once again: metallic thrusters, panel lines, and, of course, more decals. These additions will undoubtedly add character to what could have been plain plastic tubes. To attach these boosters, simply plug the peg on the other end of each booster into the side of the backpack extender. However, as the saying goes, handling something long and big can be a challenge, and these boosters are no exception. They're also quite weighty, especially when striking ground poses. Luckily, we've got a stand designed to give these boosters the support they need for those ground poses, because when it comes to handling something long and heavy, having a reliable base makes all the difference. However, installing this can be a bit of a task, as you'll need to disassemble the thruster unit, insert the base stand in between, and then reattach the unit. After putting in the effort, you'll finally unveil the Unicorn Gundam in its full armor glory. With all its formidable accessories combined, it transforms into a mobile suit powerhouse that exudes pure badassness and strikes fear into its opponents. Just keep in mind, if you're planning to display it in all its glory, make sure you've got enough space to contain all that awesomeness. If you have an action display base which is unfortunately not included with this kit, then you can showcase this beast in an aerial pose without the need for booster supports. Honestly, this is where its true glory shines, as its inherent badassery seems to intensify tenfold. And with the meticulous personal touches of incorporated, the kit's overall appearance gains a heightened sense of allure. These modifications are so effective that they might just help you overlook the fact that it's a Daban model bootleg, rendering the enhancement of its aesthetic appeal truly undeniable. As we conclude our exploration of the full armor Unicorn Gundam's accessories, it's evident that this kit offers a versatile range of options to ignite your creativity. From its devastating weaponry to the intricate nuances of its design, each piece contributes to a versatile and captivating display. This isn't just about assembly, it's about crafting an experience. Your personal touch can further elevate this experience, enhancing its potential. And remember, despite its bootleg origins from Daban model, the allure of customization remains unmatched. Let's compare this kit with some other familiar faces, and no, it's not about height. We're talking about its counterparts, the Red Psycho Frame Destroy Mode and the Banshee Norn, both Daban model bootlegs like this one. As we maintain our Hyper Edition style, they've undergone a beyond-the-box transformation with added details. Seeing them all together is a visual treat, even for someone not a die-hard Gundam Unicorn fan like me. It's impressive how these kits hold such appeal, especially when you invest in enhancing their appearances. From shared components to unique elements, they're a trio that showcases how creative customization can truly make a difference. While visually captivating, Daban model's bootleg kits can pose varying challenges during assembly, as I mentioned earlier. They might not be suitable for beginners due to these nuances. However, for budget-conscious enthusiasts seeking artistic engagement and a unique challenge, they provide a rewarding avenue for exploration. As we conclude the review beyond the box with the Daban model high-grade 1/144th full armor Unicorn Gundam, it's clear that this kit offers more than just plastic and pieces. It embodies the spirit of creativity, innovation, and personalization that define the world of model kits. Through meticulous detailing, strategic modifications, and the pursuit of excellence, we've showcased a bootleg kit into a unique masterpiece. Beyond its original form, it has become a canvas for self-expression and a testament to the possibilities that lie within our hands. Now, I want to emphasize that this review doesn't come with a conventional score. With the extensive modifications and personal touch that have gone into crafting this kit, it stands as a testament to the countless hours of dedication. So, while a numerical rating might not apply here, the experience and satisfaction of creating something truly unique are immeasurable. Thank you, my Hyper Mech Legionnaires, for joining me on this extraordinary review. Until we meet again, keep building, keep creating one hypermech at a time.